Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko licky love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko licky love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko kissy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko kissy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko chase the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko chase the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko squeeze the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko squeeze the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko left the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko left the love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy,
You better run.
Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come. Sanko,
You better run.
Sanko,
Police are come.
Sanko,
You better run.
Sanko.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata Francis C. Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cop. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
You could probably, on the maritime area, give Venezuela a channel out to the sea. So you make a slight concession in the maritime area.
All right, hey, guess what? Good. It's afternoon, right? And I know that I promised you guys that I was going to be on at 11. And then I promised you guys that I'm going to be on at 12. And then I promised you guys that I'm going to be on at 12:30. And then I promised you guys that I'm going to be on at 1 o'clock. Can any one of you in the audience tell me why I broke my promises? 11, 12, 1, and now I'm on at 1:20 in the afternoon. It's for good reason, though, for really, really good reason. Before I wait for you guys to tell me why, let me just say quickly that I, spontaneously during the course of the mornings, during the week, I may hop on if there's anything urgent, in my opinion. And so this morning, I scheduled to be on at 11 o'clock to talk with you and to debunk some of the lies and the propaganda by the corrupt PPP regime, because there are many. And we can't depend on just the opposition in Guyana alone to do that. We just can't. And we see and we know and we understand. We just can't. And so I realized this morning at 11 o'clock, some of you may have been in your police classroom with Paul Slow and Conway. And so I didn't want to interrupt that class session. I didn't want to be selfish. I just didn't want to do it. So I attended that classroom for a few minutes on and off as well. And so good job, Paul Slow. Good job, CC, Conway, Clinton, Conway. They really took it to the squatter. And let me see if you guys know the squatter. Who's the squatter in the Guyana police force? Good. Let's not wait for your answer. Today is let's not wait for your answer day. So the squatter is Hickett. Let's not wait for your answer. So what's the sense we're having a discussion if I ask a question? Forget about your answer. I got it. Forget it. Anyways, good morning to all of you. I noticed there's some mean squeeze and asking about haircut. And I know, man. We can get better things to talk about, man, about haircut. We already know what's happening. Haircut and, Father God, man. All right, so good morning again. It's afternoon, right? And here is what's happening. Here is what we may very well do something like this. Let me say good morning to all of you in the nursing homes as well. Francine and the crews out in Long Island Nursing Home, and many of you wherever you are. Let me just say this. Do you know that Tanti Moral's press conference, the butcher from Unity, press conference is usually every Thursday. Thursday, right? But suddenly he decided, did I say she? Sorry, okay. So suddenly he decided that his press conference is going to be today, right? His press conference is today, where he's going to lie and lie and lie and lie as usual. But before he gets into his lying den, his lying squatting area, I just wanted to put a few things to rest. I think Paul Slow and Clinton Conway, they did a great job in putting a lot of things to rest as it pertains to the Guyana police force, as it pertains to the corrupt PPP controlled Guyana police force. Lots of things they put to rest. So thank you so much, Paul Slow and Clinton Conway, two senior policemen who in their times may have had to put handcuffs on me, but we're okay. Those days I was just a rebel on the ground fighting for a good cause. Nevertheless, hey, good show. Let me see who else is on. I can just say hi to you guys. That's it. I'm not going to call your names. Don't want people to get vexed. Hi, Wayne Caesar. He's on with us. Who else is on? Because if I don't call some of the names, their bumps raised, they get vexed. Vashti Megnat, how are you, Vashti? Will Don, good afternoon. Claude, Tom, all of you. Who else? Who else I can say? Forget about Francine Cruz. Keith Beresford, how are you doing? All of you. Abida Monroe, the whole crew, Patricia Wren Cheeseman, and we got Beloved Jackson. Brent Mentor is asking me how I'm doing. Hey, I'm quite well. Can't complain. Desiree, Smart Felix, and all the whole crew, the entire crew. Kenneth DeFlorman, Dylan Carew, the entire crew. Hey, Dylan, I heard that there might be something coming up soon to assist the one of Guyana's former champs back in Guyana from the Myconi side. Help me with his name, man. Oh man, yep, it's right. It's not like I forget his name or I don't know who he is. Come on, Dylan Carew, Myconi, that boxer. Um, uh, Gosh, you can just tell, right? I'm having that sort of a moment right now. Um, We'll get his name shortly, though. We'll get his name. Dylan Carew and other boxers who know that boxer's name. Terrence Ali, thank you so much, man. Not any relationship to Irfan Ali, but Terrence Ali, some sort of help he needs, and that may be coming up soon to see. We shouldn't be doing this, right? The Ministry of Sports, that is what they should be doing. They should pull Terrence Ali. And we can't be doing this every 5 years. We just cannot be doing this every 5 years for Terrence or for anybody else, especially our sports people. And I say this with the greatest of respect and appreciation and thanks for Terrence Ali's contribution to putting Guyana on the map. But the Ministry of Sports should be able to know that every month or whatever to set Terrence Ali okay, so that people wouldn't have to say, let me do something and do a little fish fry or a bingo and help out Terrence. That is what we want our taxpayers to be doing, our tax dollars to be doing, so that they can help sportsmen and women, such as, example, Terrence Ali. Yeah. Tommy Gibbs is asking, yeah, he's a boxer. Now he's down and out. He's down and out. He needs help. We shouldn't be doing this. I mean, it's a blessing if we do it, yes. That's what 7.6 million US dollars per day the government is making. 7.6 million US dollars per day. And our athletes are going through what they are going through. Janet Elias says that J.R. Crawford is organizing it. If that's the case, kudos to J.R. Crawford for doing that. But J.R. Crawford doesn't have to do that. J.R. Crawford shouldn't be the one that's doing that. But if in fact he is doing it, kudos to J.R. Yeah, kudos to J.R. If somebody does good, you say kudos to them. But J.R. Crawford or nobody else should be doing this. This is the job of a government, to take care of its citizens, to take care of its athletes, to make sure that the athletes are okay. But we have a bunch of pacus in government. They're not there to ensure athletes are okay or citizens are okay. They're there for themselves. That is what they're doing. A bunch of vagabonds, a bunch of corrupt individuals. That is what is happening in Guyana at this time. And we've got to stop it, How are we going to stop it? We can't stop it by talking. And we can't stop it by just a couple of posts on Facebook or a couple of half-hour protests once per week in front of GCOM. We cannot do that, right? Last evening, it was Wayne Caesar who reminded you guys again that, look, we've got to do something about the voters list. Really, we've got to do something about that. I am here, though, this morning. Thank you, Gavin Caesar. Gavin Caesar said, a pack of thieves, crooks. That's what they are. Patricia Wren says, a gang of gangsters, notorious gangsters. That is what they are. All right, so here is what we have to focus on here this morning. Here's what we have to focus on. The PPP regime. I want you guys to listen to this for a moment. And even if we have to go in to that bubble session that that Jagdev has coming up, his so-called press conference, we will go into that as well, and we will mince him piece by piece in terms of his lies and his propaganda. That's what we're talking about, mincing his lies and his propaganda. You know, he's always afraid somebody wants, so he might go and say, Ben Sharp said he's going to mince me. Roll him like masala. No, I meant the propaganda and the lies. So I want you guys to listen to this thing here. Look how them two of them brace up next to each other. They're like, what kind of thing? All right, hey. So before we get into that, let me just make this clear. Let me make this clear. Folks have been inboxing me and asking me whether it is true that Irfan Ali got some young woman pregnant. In other words, as we would say in Guyana in the street, big somebody belly. I'm not here for that. I don't know whether it is true. I don't know whether it is not true. I honestly don't know. And so folks who have been asking me, inboxing me and asking me if it's true, I don't know. I don't know what he does in his dark rooms, in his private time. I don't know what he does under his desk at the office of the president. I don't know whether he does the same thing at the office of the president or at State House that he used to do when he was at the Ministry of Housing, when he was the Minister of Housing. I don't know of his activities. I just don't know. I don't know who he knock. I don't know who he bang. I don't know who he get pregnant. I don't know. I just don't know, guys. Ask me about me. And then I'll be able to answer that question. Ask me about me. Say, Mark, anybody? And then I will tell you straight up, no, no, I can answer for me. No, I can't answer for Paku. While it might be true, I don't know. It might be true because that is what these guys do. They don't care. There's no decency. There's nothing. Nothing. They are worse than the fire engine, the fire truck. They feel that they can just go around the place, take out the little short hose and spray water. There's a fire everywhere. That is what they are about. That is what they are about. And I will only say something if it can be confirmed. At this point in time, it cannot be confirmed. And so I don't know if he has anybody pregnant. And that's how responsible we want to be here on 107.1 FM. I'm not going to give my mouth liberty to say, I know this and I know that, and I don't know what she does with her GWI. I don't know. But we've got to get to the bottom of it, though. Why we have to get to the bottom is because he is, whether installed, he's illegal or whatever, he sits there as the president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. He is supposed to be a married man. And if he goes around the place wiggling with Wiggy and impregnating little girls or young women, then it becomes the nation's business. And so since it becomes the nation's business, Irfan Ali has to respond to that wiggly rumor. That wiggly rumor. It's not for me to respond to. So please, guys, inbox me and ask me about me. Not about me. Me and nobody. I'm an old man now. Ben Sharp is not into the wiggy business at all. Ben Sharp is an old man now. I ain't got nothing to prove. All right, so naughty me, right? So here is what I want us to talk about before we go into Tanti Marl's so-called press conference. I want you guys to listen, and we'll break the lies down. And for those of you who haven't shared the link as yet, do not be selfish. Do not be greedy. Share the link and let them know that we're on. Somebody is saying that Francine should be blocked. We have, and let me say this, I don't like to, the trench crappers have to go. What is it that Francine is saying? And I'm going to say to Francine, do not disrespect anybody on this platform. That's all I wish to say to Francine. Do not disrespect anybody on this platform, because we will ask Lemon to block you, Francine. I mean, and don't complain, oh, because of your age and all these things, and you're all bored at the nursing home. Please don't go that route. Respect people on the platform, please, Miss Francine Cruz. Respect people on the platform. So I'm not going to warn you again. Thank you, Francine. All right. So what else? I want you guys to listen to this. Listen to this here, and we'll break it down.
When we were in opposition, when they shut down all the sugar estates in Region 6 and across the country, close to 8,000 people directly lost their jobs, most of whom are from Region 6. Outside of that, 8,000, almost 8,000 persons who lost their jobs. Outside of that, the tens of thousands of people who lost their jobs indirectly, right? And it's the same set of people who shut the industry down, who told the rice farmers after.
All right, forget it. He's all over the place, as expected. Nimakaram, Katahar, Korhi, both of them, Zulfikar Mustafa. You see him there with his burgundy hat, his One Guyana burgundy hat. These guys are oppressing Berbicians. Go to the quarantine right now, just the quarantine, not West Coast Berbice and so forth, just on the quarantine, and mention Zulfikar Mustafa's name. And people from the quarantine, farmers and so forth, they will immediately get upset. Because right away they'll say, them chap them, they say proper corrupt by, them chap them, they say a crook. That is what the people are saying. I'm not saying that. That's what the people are saying. Them chap them now, Zulfikar. Go Bloomfield and see them chap house. See how them live. See how them relative and their friends, all of them are getting contracts there. You think they care about cane cutters? You think they care about rice farmers and so forth and so on? They don't. They just don't care about those people. And so then go sit down there. They're sitting down on a rock. In my opinion, the rock should just fall down and all of them should just go wherever they got to go. No, I'm not saying they should all just go overboard. That's up to wherever the rock takes them. But they're sitting there and lying. First of all, Irfan Ali said that the coalition shut down the sugar factories, shut down the sugar factories. That's not true. Here's what happened. Here is what happened. Joy Jigan, in 2019, and this is the big headline, said, and this is Joy Jigan, I believe it's the 2014 or sometime back then, whenever it is. It says, Joy Jigan, PM Nagamutu, so it was either after 2015, sorry, urged workers not to buy estates reopening promises. The opposition, that is the PPP now, promised to reopen sugar factories closed due to unprofitability continues to be ridiculed as cheap political talks to win votes in the upcoming elections. Opposition leader Bharat Jagdev has said if the PPP wins the next elections, it will find a way to reopen those estates. Now, do you know many of those estates were closed under the PPP? Do you know the destruction of Gaisuko started under the PPP and they were hiding that from the people? What about Wales Estate, sugar workers? What about Enmore? What about Blairmont and all those sugar factories? They were going through hardship, and a plan was in place to close many sugar factories in Guyana under the PPP regime. The evidence is there that the PPP when they were in office for 20-something years, never gave a damn about the sugar workers. They always wanted the people to just cut cane all their life. They want the people cut cane, then the picnic must cut cane, then the grand picnic of the sugar workers must cut cane. There was no other future. There was no other plan for the people, the sugar workers. None whatsoever. All their life, they want the people for cut cane. That is what they are about. Look at Zulfikar Mustafa next to Irfan Ali. Take a look. These guys are being described, mind you, by people on the quarantine, not me. They are being described as bandits, crooks, and criminals in office. So you're telling me that they suddenly care about sugar workers? Now, I'm not describing them as that. Go on the quarantine and find out how they're being described. Now, let us continue. But before we continue, Irfan Ali said that under the coalition government, a good government for the most part, did a lot of cleaning up of the mess the PPP created and left for the 23 years they've been in office. Irfan Ali said that 8,000 sugar workers, that the PNC coalition government just went in there and just fired 8,000 sugar workers just like that. Come on, let's try and put 2 and 2 together. Do you think that the sugar industry, do you think that the coalition would just go in there and out of vindictiveness knock off, as they say in Guyana, 8,000 sugar workers with Moses Nagamutu as prime minister? You think that can be possible? With Ramjatan there, you think that would be possible? Ramjatan come from a 47 village where a lot of people cut cane. Moses Nagamutu come from a village, Wim, on the quarantine, where plenty people catch fish and cut cane. Do you think Moses Nagamutu will be part of a government that will allow 8,000 sugar workers to get knocked off? No. And so the truth is, what the coalition attempted to do was to save the sugar industry that died by the time they got into office in 2015. When they got into office into 2015, guess what? The CEO of Gaisuko, Raj Singh, Dr. Raj Singh, who is now the Guyana High Commissioner to Britain, Guyana High Commissioner to Britain, right? He's there right now. Do you know what was his salary? Every month, Raj Singh, as CEO, received close to $40,000 US. $40,000 US to run Gaisuko. And he was living at that time in New Jersey. And so every single, and that doesn't add up, traveling allowance and boarding and all these sort of things. So in essence, Raj Singh probably made close to $75,000 US per month. Taxpayers' dollars. Meanwhile, Jagdev and Irfan and all these pakus in the PPP hierarchy, they want to give this impression that they so love sugar workers. Oh, I be love sugar workers. I be love IO. Even though, and I was part of protest over at Wales Estate when they didn't want to pay the sugar workers and they were planning to shut them down and they called police to lock up them. Let Irfan and Zulfikar Mustafa, let them talk about that. They called the police, they locked up sugar workers. Sugar workers were beaten under the PPP regime, not the coalition. Under the PPP regime, that is what they have done. And so getting back to the CEO of Gaisuko, making $75,000+ US in salary and expenses and so forth every month. But the poor sugar workers, them, how much you think they gotta make per month? How much you think? The ordinary sugar workers made a couple dollars per month. 40, 50,000, $200 US. $300 US. It depends on how much punt they cut and load. Cut and load. They work hard, sometimes 8 hours, 12 hours per day. They cut and load. When they're done, they're tired. And at the end of the month, they take home about a little $60,000. And then when there's off season, then I get work to do. The PPP can't find no work for them. The PPP never trained them, alternate employment, nothing. And so those cane cutters, those harvesters had to sit down and wait for another crop season. So in the meantime, what they make? They make absolutely nothing. And so the PPP regime never cared about those people. They weren't concerned about them. They weren't. And so during the PPP years, they killed the sugar industry. And I haven't even mentioned they failed the $200 million that Jack Dale took taxpayers' money to put into a brand new Skeldon sugar factory that never worked. And so where is that money? Where is the investigation? Where is the love for the people on the quarantine? I'm talking specifically about sugar workers. Where is that love? The truth is, Jack Dale nor Irfan Ali, they do not give a damn about workers of the sugar industry. Gaisuko is being used to milk. It's a milking cow. And they're using the ordinary sugar workers as pawns. That is what is happening right now. There's no evidence that they care. And so suddenly they're sitting now, and guess what they're saying? Guess what they're saying? Let's go back to what they're saying, and we'll break it down for you guys.
What was it? $9,000 a bag. It went down to $2,200, and then they tell rice farmers it's private business. Right. No support for rice. Shut down the sugar industry. They send home Tujau. They send home over 2,000 CSOs. Send them home.
Lies, 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 lies. Now, we're going to stick with the sugar industry. But he mentioned rice. Under the PPP regime, and even when he was Minister of Housing and all these different things, guess what? Rice farmers in Essequibo, rice farmers on the quarantine, rice farmers at West Coast Berbice were crying out for justice because the big rice farmers, a few of them who were connected to the PPP regime, were collecting the ordinary rice farmers' paddy, take the rice, and they weren't paying these ordinary rice farmers. So they had to protest in Essequibo. I've had many of them on this program here several years ago when the PPP was in office. The rice farmers on the quarantine go Blackbush Polar right now. I jump on a truck, if y'all think I'm lying, and y'all go Blackbush Polar right now, and y'all talk to the rice farmers there. And you go hear exactly what the rice farmers are saying, that the PPP regime is no good. They offer nothing good. There's no proper drainage or irrigation, nothing. And anytime they go into whether Les Beholden, Maybe Curie, Johanna, or wherever in Blackbush Polder, it's always a corruption. They give their friends and cronies the contract. That is what they do. And then now they sit there pacuing themselves, giving the impression as though they care about sugar workers, giving the impression as though they care about rice farmers, giving the impression as though they care about Guyanese. They just do not care. And this is not coming from me that they do not care. The evidence is there, my friends. Take a walk. Go Blackbush Polder. The rice farmers are complaining there's no proper drainage and irrigation. Bugs are all over the place. The so-called regime do not go and help to spray and all manner of things to fields or give them stuff to kill those bugs. So instead of giving them spray to kill those bugs, the government now, Zulfikar and Irfan Ali and Jack Dale and all of these are basically, they have become worse than the bugs that are destroying the people's paddies and the people's crops. These are the modern day PPP bugs destroying the lives of people. Again, now back to this 8,000. 8,000. They said the PNC coalition knocked off. Now, we don't want to be distracted. Somebody, whoever is Brenda, I don't know, they have several Brendas saying that I blocked somebody who blocked. Oh, man. I don't even know who's Brenda Is it Brenda Casey? If it's not, I just saw Brenda Casey on. Who Brenda I block, man? Oh, man, we talking thingy and y'all talking. I don't block. It's only trench crappos I block. But sometimes because of Facebook, I don't know if it's an automatic block or they can't blog or whatever. Somebody abusing me out. Poor me now. I abusing out the PPP. And they in the audience abusing me out that I block somebody. Poor me. I block somebody. And you see all this sort of destruction now here. I block somebody named Brenda. I know it's not Brenda Casey because me and block Brenda Casey. I can't block Brenda Casey. I can't. Brenda would hunt me down. I can't block Brenda. So please, I don't know what y'all are talking about. Let's focus on what we gotta focus, man. Let's focus, guys. Right? So these are the pakus, the bugs in the PPP that are destroying people's lives. 8,000 people, they say, get knocked off by the PPP, by the coalition. These are the same people who destroyed the sugar industry. Do you know when the coalition got into office in 2015? Immediately, the coalition government, thank you, Brenda. You almost read when Brenda writes. She said she was talking about Jack Dale. And poor me, bums raised. Forgive me, guys. Hey, my bums was raised quick too, you know. All right, we are a big family here. We laugh, we joke with each other, and sometimes some of we just go and talk. We name with other people and all kind. It's a talk name crew sometimes too, you know. But anyways, so let us Everett Leonard, how are you? Now, when the coalition got into office, guess what the coalition had to do? The coalition had to bail out Gaisuco because Gaisuco was bankrupt because of a corrupt PPP regime. And mind you, their general secretary was the chairman or CEO of Gaisuco, Donald Ramutar, or what was he, one of the directors? He was there. They all were making money. It is a milking cow for the PPP. Even Donald Ramutar knew of the corruption there because he was a director. He knew that the sugar was dead. I believe he said that sugar was dead. Dead under the PPP regime. But they lie. They continue to lie and lie. This gentleman, you guys recognize him? This gentleman actually said APNU AFC always backed PPP sugar reforms plan. Always do that. They always do that. So there's no evidence that the coalition was spiteful against sugar workers. In fact, the coalition wanted to help sugar workers. That is why when they got into office in 2015, immediately they didn't go to the vendors and say to the vendors, here what happened? We're giving you all some money. They didn't go to the bauxite workers and say, here what happened? We got bail you guys out. The bauxite workers had to fight and walk to make sure the bauxite industry survived, right? But the sugar industry got killed under the PPP regime. They knew that sugar was bitter and sugar was dead. And so when the coalition got into office, guess what? That's when they found out that Raj Singh, the CEO, a good friend of Jack Day from Unity Village on the East Coast there. And guess what? He was making, like I've said, close to 40,000, just his salary alone, 40,000 US dollars per month. That is more than the subvention they give to the New Amsterdam, the tongue of New Amsterdam. The annual subvention of New Amsterdam is less or just about 40,000 US dollars per month Raj Singh was getting. But the people of New Amsterdam, the subvention under the PPP is 40,000 or 50,000 per year. And so they never cared. So when the coalition got in there, the coalition was shocked. Because Gaisuco was bankrupt. Sugar industry was on the verge of shutting down. The PPP had a plan to shut sugar estates down. But the poor coalition had to quickly say, oh my gosh, we got to save this thing. We got to save these people. We can't allow these estates to just shut down and these people are not taken care of. Because that was the plan of the PPP, to shut the sugar industry down and leave those sugar workers high and dry, as we would say in Guyana. But thank God for the coalition. Thank God for the David Granger's government that was able to save the sugar industry and treat sugar workers as they ought to be treated, as human beings. But guess what? Soon as they got into office, 12 billion, not million, 12 billion Guyana dollars had to be pumped into the sugar industry to ensure that it was saved. 12 billion. 12 billion. Oh, yeah. But they're not going to tell you guys this. When the coalition got into office, do you know how much money, the debt that they were in? You know the debt that they were in? Not 90,000 Guyana dollars. Not 90,000 Guyana dollars. They get some Rohan Jarawar, a Katahar saying, here the Katahar. You don't know, you see, this is weird. Here the Katahar. Let's see how many peoples knew what was this guy charged for in Guyana. How many peoples? This Rohan Jarawar should really name Rohan Katahar, because he can't even read properly, he can't even write properly, and he doesn't make sense. Let's see how many peoples know that he just gone in the trench. Let's see how many peoples. That is what these Katahar, like these Katahars can't think. Andrea D, you ask him the right thing there. You see, I'm not Gordon Mosley. I always say, ask your mother. Right? And that is how these Katahar come, these Katahars. These Katahars, that is how they come and they think and they run up the tail and so forth and so on. Now let's get back to business here. Katahar gone in the trench, right? Now listen to this. How much debt you think that the money that they owe? How much you think? Not 90,000. I'm going to give you guys the figures, and that is what the coalition was faced with. They dashed the sugar industry to the coalition and expected the coalition got to perform miracles. I'm not going to use the F word, but that is what they did. The PPP did to the sugar industry. The sugar industry up. They destroyed the sugar industry. They had no usage for sugar workers. They were lying to sugar workers all along. Their friends and families and cronies and all these people, all of them benefited except the ordinary sugar workers. Do you know that? Do you know? It is $90 billion. For 23 plus years, the PPP never did anything for the sugar workers other than rob them, thief from them, and lie to them, and destroy their lives. Didn't offer them anything proper at all. That's what the PPP did. And that is what people have to be reminded of. Some people don't know. Some people may think that, oh yeah, the PPP loved the sugar workers. No. The PPP used the sugar workers and screw the sugar workers inside out. That is what they do. And so for me, I wouldn't sit down and listen to the lies of these vagabonds, these Pakus, Zulfikar. Zulfikar of all person, talking about he is concerned about sugar workers and he is concerned about the people on the quarantine. Give me a bloody break. Irfan Ali, 19 fraud charges. All of these things you're telling me that they care about people now, that they care about sugar workers now, when they destroyed that industry. $90 billion they owed. $90 billion. And who was saddled with that burden? The coalition. As soon as the coalition got into office, as indicated earlier, they had to bail the sugar industry out. $90 billion. They probably got them together, including the finance minister then, Winston Jordan, and they probably said, hey, how are we going to save this? Well, Jordan and them don't say Abby, right? Them is strong guys. Yeah, but how are we going to save this thing here, boy? This thing here, look. Oh, boy, this thing is a mess. The sugar industry destroyed. Look, all these estates, sugar estates the PPP had in mind to shut down. All of these, we got to save something. Because if we don't save it, thousands of people will lose their jobs. Thousands of people will be unemployed, homeless. And so we got to give credit to the coalition because Winston Jordan and those guys, they ran through the papers and it was a mess, $90 billion. And then as soon as they got into office, guess what? They had to find, because Jack Day and all them thief out a bunch of money, taxpayers' money, the thief out. A bunch of them thief. Guess what the coalition had to do now? Find $12 billion to rescue the sugar industry in 2015. As soon as they got into office, they got to find $12 billion. Otherwise, the sugar industry just gone down the drain. Gone down the drain because it was in a mess when the coalition took over. That is a fact. They're not going to tell you that, but it is a fact. And when 2015 done, they just had to keep saving the sugar industry. In 2011, they had to come up with billions of dollars more. And they came up with 11. In 2016, they had to come up with $11 billion to save the sugar industry because the PPP destroyed sugar. They destroyed the sugar industry. They destroyed the mindset of the sugar workers because they never care about sugar workers. They never did. And some people are of the view that sugar workers are only just one set of people, only persons of Indian descent that cut cane. Y'all know how many persons of African descent on the quarantine are cane cutter by? Them by a Manchester, them by from Alice, some of them from top side, this side, Irish, all over. No persons of African descent are cut cane. So cane cutting, while the majority might be of East Indian descent, yeah, that's a fact. But lots of our brothers and sisters from the African Guyanese community are also cutting cane. Not just our brothers and sisters from WIM or the Indian community alone are cut cane. Y'all go quarantine. Y'all go quarantine and see when them cane cut a truck a pass. Or if I'm like, y'all call one of the guy who Park, Mr. Park from quarantine there, my friend. I knew him since he was a little boy. He was younger than me. Put some lashes on him when we play cricket and thing, right? He's a cane cutter. His father was a cane cutter. His relatives, them Gray by, them Park by, and all kind of thing cut cane from Alice Village, Manchester, Alverston, and so forth and so on. So when the coalition got into office, look, mouth open, story jump out. Look who is with us. The Honorable former Finance Minister Winston Jordan. He's saying here, in that same year, 2015, the coalition had to find $5.6 billion to bail out rice farmers after Venezuela abrogated the rice deal. Walk away from it. Rice this time for Venezuela was left rotting on the wharf. And the PPP, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. This AC is hot. Irfan, well, that's what we're going to do with Irfan after next election. He mustn't get no work. He ain't get no job. He ain't get nothing to do. Right. Turn this AC on. Right. But on a serious note, thank you so much, Mr. Jordan. Rice, wait, man. It's not only billions of dollars had to save the sugar industry. Billions of dollars had to save rice too. Oh man, $5.6 billion. But guess who benefited? Not the ordinary rice farmers, but thanks to the coalition had to not only rescue sugar, the coalition had to rescue rice. So had it not been for the coalition government, thousands upon thousands of sugar workers would have been jobless and possibly homeless. Compliments of the PPP regime, compliments of Barra Jackdale, compliments of Irfan Ali, compliments of Donald Ramatar, compliments of those Pakus. But thank God for the coalition. They cost the coalition. They cost the coalition every day. And they give the impression that the coalition not care about sugar workers, or they try to make it out to be a racist something. But that is not true. The evidence is there, guys. And all these guys are doing, Irfan Ali and Zulfikar and these guys, they're talking a bunch of lies and propaganda. And people know what they are about. People are no longer buying into their lies. So thank you, Mr. Jordan, for this here. Mr. Jordan has just reminded us that in that same year, 2015, the coalition had to bail out the rice farmers, $5.6 billion. Remember, the coalition took over almost empty. They didn't get nothing because of those vagabonds in the PPP. Thief, 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 thief. Hey, guys, it's 6 minutes after 2 o'clock. I'm not done yet, you know. I'm not done yet. Now, in 2012, in 2015, $12 billion had to bail the sugar industry out. In 2016, $11 billion had to save the bail the sugar industry out. In 2017, guess what? $10 billion. $10 billion. And after the coalition realized what the PPP did to them is money and money and money to bail and bail and bail and bail. I wish all them times I get locked up, they break down, they're here. I wish all the money to come in for bail me out. Because sometimes I just lie down on the concrete there in breakdown there. I say, why who gonna bail me today, boy? People must be tired bailing me. Little 10,000, 15,000, 50,000 bail. But look, compared to the billions that they are bailing the sugar industry out that died under the PPP regime. Oh man, shame on Irfan them. Them guys, they saying I get shame, you know. I'll get to the 7,000, 8,000 workers that these PACUs are claiming, oh, the coalition knocked these people off. Not true. Another lie. Yet another lie. Yet another propaganda that only suits their purpose. That's what it's about. Now let's go in here.
See, of which Nigel Hughes was the chairman, of which Ramjitan, Norton, all of them were part of it. And today, these same people, it's not feasibility study that they want for Barbies Bridge. Again, just like they killed the hydro, today we would have had a hydro, clean energy, and the cost of energy would have been half of what it is today. They killed that.
But Chief, you know, generally, anything for Barbies, these people are fools.
But listen, when we built the Barbies Bridge the first time, it was the same problem. Same problem. Any investment, we're doing the Wisma Bridge, the Barbies.
Wait a minute, guys. For anything for Barbies, these PACUs saying that the coalition attempted to destroy? Anything for Barbies? These guys got to be too clowns. What I want to say, I really don't want to say. Honestly, they got to get this man. Apart from getting that, remember Zulfikar, he shouldn't be speaking about Barbies. He shouldn't be speaking about caring about nobody because Zulfikar and these guys don't care about Barbisian. Right now, if Barbisians could chase him out of Barbies, they would do that. But look at what the PPP is doing to Barbisians. Let's go straight to Wim Village on the quarantine. Under Zulfikar's watch as Minister of Agriculture. Minister of Agriculture. And look what they're doing to the people of Wim. Look how they're treating the people of Wim. Who is more uncaring to the people of on the quarantine? Obviously, it's not the coalition. Take a look. Under the PPP, just a couple days ago, I'll be go down to Dr. Ramaya. Dr. Ramaya.
I just want to bring it to the public attention. Now, this trench around the center ground here used to provide nice, beautiful flowers with a porine leaf. And as you can see here right now, they spray it and they kill the grass. The grass now will sink underneath. So the trench, there is no drainage. But look how they've destroyed the beauty look how they destroy the beauty of this place. Just imagine it. And when I talk about this here, this become a problem. Look from the center.
That is Dr. Ramaya. Dr. Ramaya is showing you guys the evidence as to what the PPP is doing to Barbisians, the people on the quarantine. But yet they sit down on a rock next to somebody in the middle of brace up next to Zulfikar. So inappropriate for an interview and so forth. Anyways, apart from that now, they're lying and lying and lying and lying about the coalition, and the coalition cared more for Barbicians, more for the people on the quarantine than the PPP can ever imagine. We spoke about the billions of dollars. Gaisuko, when the PPP left office in 2015, they left the coalition with a goodie for fetch. A goodie in terms of the Gaisuko, excuse my expression, a goodie, a big goodie, a big seed. $90 billion they owed. The sugar industry owed $90 billion. And then when you look at the salaries of the directors and the CEO and so forth and so on, compare that to what the sugar workers were getting. Nothing, absolutely nothing, right? Nothing. But now they want to pretend that they care. But let me talk about this. The PPP had a plan to retrench thousands upon thousands of sugar workers. Even during the PPP tenure, guess what? Thousands of sugar workers lost their jobs. They didn't have anything else to do. But you have a sugar industry, you have an industry that is basically dead, compliments of the PPP, and you have a government as the APNU AFC, a caring government that had to bail and rescue that sugar industry. $90 billion, $12 billion in 2015, $11 billion in 2016, $10 billion in 2017. And guess what? They couldn't do it any longer. And so those about 6,000 or 7,000 sugar workers were taken care of by the coalition. The coalition didn't knock anybody off. That was a plan under the PPP. And those thousands of workers got their severances. They were paid. Some of them were paid millions of dollars. Some of it depends on the years, it depends on seniority and so forth, but some were paid millions in terms of their severance deal. Some went off, they were trained for other areas of work, something the PPP never did. So it is not like the PNC or the coalition government knocked these people off and chased them and say, are you going? No. That never happened. And y'all don't let the PPP fools them lie to you guys.
We're looking now at bridging the Kwakwani River. We're looking at where the new bridge will go. The Quarantine River Bridge.
Somebody tell him it's not Kwakwani. It's not Kwakwani. And they're not bridging anything. It is a form of corruption. That is what it is. Because they've had 23 plus years to do these things, to show that they care. No. Look at the hundreds of millions of dollars wasted on the Borbis River Bridge. So now they want knock dunk. They're not saying let them allow the Borbis River Bridge to be what it is for now and use that hundreds upon hundreds of millions of dollars somewhere else for something else to develop the people and so forth. But no, they are going to a bridge that has been there for just 10 years with hundreds of millions of dollars, almost bankrupt, guys, NIS. Guess what? They want to knock dunk that bridge and put a spanking new bridge and call that development. 10 years and they want to knock it dunk. Hundreds of millions of your tax dollars wasted. But look at the Demerara Harbor Bridge. Look how long that bridge has been there. That bridge has been there since in the 70s, before some of you were born, before some of you thought of becoming grandparents and great-grandparents and all these sort of things. Demerara Harbor Bridge, still there. But look, the Borbis Bridge that was built in front of the river, the mouth of the Borbis River, right, when Jack Day and others were advised not to do it, to take it just a little past New Amsterdam, but because they didn't want it to go in that particular area, they want Palmyra. Everything for these Pacus, everything for these guys is fraud and scampishness. They do not get into any business unless they can personally benefit from it. And then they come to Pacu you to say, well, hey, it's development, and Nigel doesn't want development. Somebody got to teach this guy to read and pronounce words properly. It's development. And Kwakwani. This quack is saying is Kwakwani. Kwakwani or Kwakwani. The emotions in which we see there is fake. They don't care. They're a bunch of fraudsters, if you ask me, politically speaking, that is. right? And so when they come out to make it look as though, oh, Nigel only talking up now, Norton only talking up now or whatever, and they, oh, no. These guys are a bunch of pakus. Irfan Ali, 19 fraud charges. Zulfikar got to tell people about serious allegations of corruption upon corruption on the quarantine and other parts of Guyana. Listen to them.
Expand production, improve competitiveness. You recall when I went to the meeting representing the PPP in the opposition, you know what the AFC and APNU said? When I said, where is the socioeconomic study that informed closing the sugar estate? They said, we don't need that. What do you need that for? This thing is a burden up on the people. This is a burden on the state. That was how they viewed the sugar industry. That was how they viewed 10,000s of jobs as a burden on the state, as a burden on the people. It really hurts that these people who are trying to reinvent themselves, they have no plan, they have no vision. But every single idea they want to kill, but make sure the Barbies River Bridge will be done.
Listen to him. First, they started off at 7,000. That 7,000 workers lost their jobs, sugar workers under the coalition. Lie. They got severance packages. All of them were compensated. And then alternate employment as well, training and so forth. Which caring government? Of course, the coalition was such a caring government that it took care of those sugar workers. And then the sugar workers, all of them, regardless of ethnicity, the kids got free transportation to school back and forth to save hundreds of thousands of dollars in parents' pockets. Hundreds of thousands. But yet when the coalition got kicked out and these PACUs were installed, guess what? They deprive sugar workers, families, and so forth of these very things. And now let's go back here. I see a comment here from former Finance Minister Winston Jordan. 5.6 billion in severance payment was paid to 5,120 severed sugar workers, not 8,000 workers as being alleged by Ali in that video. Y'all here? Look at it right there. Winston Jordan, the former finance minister under the coalition, a man who would know these things, is setting the record straight so that Irfan Ali and Zulfikar, that's his name, not me coughing, Zulfikar. Nice. The name suits him. Zulfikar. Right? So this is what's happening. 5.6 billion in severance payment was paid to 5,120 severed sugar workers, not 8,000. These liars, these political bandits are talking about. Thank you so much, Mr. Winston Jordan. Thank you. Now it jumped. Their mantra was 7,000. Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Workers were severed. Now it's 8,000. Inconsistent lies upon lies. And Mr. Jordan, if you listen there, he jumped and he said 10,000 now. So what's really going on? 7,000, then 8,000, and then now we got to 10,000. Let's continue.
The commuters, very shortly, will be very happy with a series of announcements, a series of interventions we'll make to make it more competitive, less costly, more efficient, and we already said Barbies is going to be a major industrial area, just like we're working in Linden to create
lies. All they do is thief. They don't care about Linden. They don't care about Barbies. All they care about is enriching themselves. They're a sweet woman. Whether they go around the place getting women pregnant, it's none of my business, as long as I don't. And really and truly, I don't. Now, that is what they do. They go around the place, drink up in a little shop, and they wiggly all over the place. That is what they do, and that is what they get into government for. And then they come around giving the impression that they care about the people. They don't care about the people. They don't care about nobody but themselves. A bunch of bandits. Now, wait a minute. These are the people talking about the Amila Falls project. Before we get to Amila Falls project, what about the cable, the fiber optic cable. We ain't talking about the $200 million wasted on the elephant sugar factory. We're talking about the fiber optic cable. Hundreds upon hundreds of millions of taxpayers' dollars wasted. Mr. Jordan, if you're still listening, what do you know about the fiber optic cable and the amount of taxpayers' money spent? What do you know about that, Mr. Jordan? It all happened under the corrupt PPP regime, the fiber optic cable. And Mr. Jordan, whatever happened to the $200 million wasted on the Skeldon Sugar Factory? All these things and more, we can talk and we can talk and we can talk. And the corruption in the Amila Falls project. Now, speaking of the Amila Falls project, do you know that the PPP, Jack, they love to tech things? Well, sorry, I take that back. They love to tech, that is, I'm on target with that. But they love to take credit for things that actually belong to them. Things in belong to them. Now, let me take you guys through this here. Let me take you guys through this here. Where's Brenda Casey? Is she here? I see a lot of you guys are in class. Hazel Johnson, are you there? Andrea, Marlin, where's Christopher Chichester? Because Mr. Slow just had his classroom. I'm having my classroom here right now too. Carl Miller, all of you guys. I'm now looking in the comment section. Let me see here. Janet Elias, how are you? Hazel Johnson. Desiree Simon, how are you doing? Who else is on with us? Marilyn Thomas and the whole crew, the entire crew. Now, let me take you guys to this here. Amila Falls project. They love to talk about it. If you guys didn't know, well, take a look at this. Take a look at this, guys. The history of the Amila Falls hydropower project. In 1974, how many of you were born then? How many of you were born then? Horny Park, how are you doing, my friend? Horny Park is the guy I was talking about earlier. Horny, send me a message right now on Facebook. Send me a message, Horny. I want to talk to you live on the program. Live on the program, Horny. Sound like I'm saying honey, but his name is Horny. I knew Horny Park since he was a little boy. Puts on lashes on all there at Allen's Village. He used to cry bad. Anyways, he's grown up now. He's a big guy with wife and family and so forth. A respectable guy there on the quarantine and in the sugar industry. Thank you for what you do there, Horny Park. Forget about the lashes and thing I give you when we were kids. So now, the history of the Amila Falls Hydro Project. In 1974, you see, yes, 1974, 1974 and 1976, the government of Guyana carried out a pre-feasibility study of the hydropower potential at Amila Falls under the PNC, under Burnham government. The same Burnham, some of them pacus like to cuss. And when them pacus cuss Burnham, they get some pacus in the PNC. Don't like they're frightened to come out and defend and to stand up for Burnham and see all of the good things that were done. Now, Burnham as president wasn't perfect, but he did a darn lot of good things. Now, let's get back to this Amila Falls. So in 1998, when they signed this MOU with Synergy Harza for developing Amila, that idea was already there. It was already there since 1974. It was there. My friends, it was there. And so they took that idea. But hey, guess what? Back in 74, it was Burnham government was that did the feasibility study. The company says, look, they were suggesting 165 megawatts development. But under the PPP regime, they reduced it by to 100 MW. That is what they did. And so the corruption and the corruption and the corruption and the corruption with Amila Falls and all these different things. That is why the project never went ahead. The IDB knew of the corruption. The IDB, I suspect, smelled. And so the IDB did never offer any commitment for financing. None. There was no commitment at all. The IDB, I repeat, never offered any commitment. But the PPP regime, they were lying and giving the impression that there was a commitment by the IDB. Just as what they are doing right now. They are giving this impression that the ID or that there's a commitment when it comes to the gas to shore project. You guys look out for that. It's going to be one of the biggest corrupt deals, one of the biggest. Keep an eye out on that. But hey, let's go back to these PACUs because I didn't want to spend so long on, but I just thought I'd give you guys the facts.
Hub to support the mining sector and the food terminal, and having the link to Brazil, northern Brazil, the port facility in Barbados, the gas facility, the new industrial zone, the Palmyra development, the new road that we're going to build. But inherently, these hypocrites can't help themselves. Anything developmental, they got to stop. Anything in certain region, they have to stop. They believe that any investment in this region is a political investment, and then they try to lie to the people. Look at what they did to the land tax, rental, DNI charges. You know,
They increased that almost 6,000%. These land rental and DNI charges. You know, entire community were destroyed. The whole country. You know, for a fact, when you went in country, the workers came and flee.
Look, stop your lies. Stop. Look, Zulfikar, rest yourself. Rest yourself. Stop lying to the people. The PPP has destroyed the people under quarantine. They have destroyed. Everything is corruption and they threaten people. Zulfikar can't even lie properly. They destroyed country. You know, the coalition government wanted the best for all Guyanese, and they have done their best for people on the quarantine as well. All of these things here. Now, look, as we prepare to wrap up, Mr. Winston Jordan is saying, for the breakdown by estate of the number of workers severed, please Google Thomas B. Singh's study of the sociology, economic impact of the closure of Gaisuko sugar estates. Just take a look at that. Take a look at that, guy. Don't listen to two Pakus there, Mustafa Zulfikar. You write for name Zulfikar. Sorry, Zulfikar, Mustafa, and Irfan Ali. Look at them. Who gonna believe them? Who will believe these Pakus? Not me, not any of you. Absolutely. Not me, not any of you. Look, I will be back tonight, man. How long I spent with you guys? Over an hour? Over an hour? Y'all want to hear some old lies on them? Hear this before we go.
Said that when the PPP get back into government, we will reopen the estate and we stand on our word.
but not only reopen, we're going to ensure sugar survive. We're going to ensure sugar is competitive and viable, and we're going to expand it. And we will ensure that Skeldon is.
And we will ensure that we expose your lies. And we're going to ensure, and we're going to this. We all find this Paku from and put him there as president. Where y'all really find this Paku from? He needs to be voted out of office so he could go around the place, knock around, and make picnic. Knock around and get people pregnant. Okay, just go all over the place and get people pregnant. Seta Nimakaram, Katahars, Tere Kabur, Nani Kachodor, Kaland. And I'll leave it as that. What sugar? What sugar you could bring back alive? What sugar? You must be talking about sugar. Father, Mark, rest yourself. Rest yourself. What sugar you talking? They kill sugar. They kill rice. I don't know. Guyana, all you got to pray for Guyana. All you got to pray for Guyana. They care about people. They care about people. Look at them. That's all they're concerned about. You know how many land this guy probably owned? A bunch of land all over the place. Look, even when he was Minister of Agriculture or Minister of housing. Look, you get land all on Suicide Linden Highway. Every day, them a take away people land. Them a give it out to their friends and their cronies. Look at what they did to the people of Mucka, the people of Amila's ward. All over. The same Amila's ward that Jack Day say he built housing scheme in Linden. These Pacus are barefaced. They're pathological liars. And then they sit there and they lie and they lie and they lie and they package it as though it's the truth. It's just like they're packaging. I recall many years ago, I bought a VCR in Brooklyn, right? Gone, hot and sweaty, a guy on the street, brand new thing in a box. Yeah, take this, man. I say, how much is it? Hey, man, give me $25, man. And stupid little me, I got no gun, brand new VCR. Well, y'all know my age once you talk about VCR, right? Gone now, because you want to watch a movie and then put your cassette and them thing. You get your VCR. I open this box and boom, when I open the box, there's some wet paper stain. Man, I never been so vexed in my life yet. All now I still remember the story. And I want to believe if somebody in this audience did that to me, It's probably Wesley Ward, probably Roberto Ray. Who could do me that? Not Wayne, not Brenda, not Troy, not Carl Miller, not Desiree, not Hazel. It could be somebody related to Francine Cruz. Francine looked like she had a mentality like. All right, so that is what, picking on Francine Cruz. But this is what they do. They package these things and they make it look as though it's nice, but it's not nice. It's just like that VCR that I get caught with bare brick inside, bare old newspaper. And that is what they are doing to the Guyanese people. Shame and disgrace. That is what they do. Hey guys, I will be back tonight. Yep, I will be back tonight. Same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. In the meantime, do not believe the PPP and their fraud. That is what they're about. Fraud. The coalition or the opposition, they're not blocking any development. They want development, but they want proper development. They want transparency. And it is their job to ensure they force for transparency so that the public can see a proper feasibility study for this so-called new bridge that Irfan is talking about. They need to see a proper design. They need transparency. They need transparency. They need to see the design of the people out there. I mean, the bridge, the design of the Linden Bridge. Where is the design? They're not seeing anything. And I think in all fairness to the opposition, they fight sometimes, they're asking for transparency and accountability. That is what we want. Nobody's blocking we should get a song. Put a nice mix over here. Development or quack. Anyways, I'm out of here. Hey guys, don't forget that on the Parkway, there will be a new dance, a new wine called the protest wine. The protest wine. You just wind up, twist to the left, twist to the right, turn around and say boo to them. Twist to the left, twist to the right, turn around and say boo to those PPP ministers who are expected to be on the Parkway. You cannot pashway, you cannot dance up with them when they're punishing people back in Guyana. Hey, I'll be back tonight. Trust me. Right here on 107.1 FM. I'm out of here. Until, what else? Thank you all so much, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata, Francis Wakenham, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have no.
a body man walk right now. You ready? Boxer, let me go now. Hear me sing now. Body walk, body walk, body walk, everything. Body walk, jump, body walk, body walk, body walk, everything. Body, listen. Body jump, body jump, body jump, everything. Body jump, body jump, body jump, body jump, everything. Hear me sing, so make body can't wear it tight.
I just want to bring it to the public attention. Now, this trench around the center ground here used to provide nice, beautiful flowers with a porine leaf. And as you can see here right now, they spray it and they kill the grass. The grass now will sink underneath. So the trench, there is no drainage. But look how they've destroyed the beauty of look how they destroy the beauty of this place. Just imagine it. And when I talk about this here, this become a problem. Look from the center come back. Right through. Look how dirty this place looks. Now people used to go Sunday morning or even get religious work, then pick up leaves. And the beauty of the thing is with the flowers. Now they have nothing that they can go back to now. They have to go to somewhere else to pick up leaves. You can do religious work, especially Hindus. Now we don't have that anymore. Then destroy everything with the spray. Not only that, then kill out all the fishes inside this water here. Nothing can survive in this water here anymore. Then destroy everything.
And this is the municipal people did this.
Yes, this is the NDC work. This is coming from the NDC.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su? My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, yes, he is a friend of ours.